Brock, you have the floor for 6 minutes, please.
Thank you, Chair, and I'm putting notice to this committee that the last 90 seconds I'll be yielding that time to my colleague, Mr. Genuis.
Do you want me to interrupt you on that?
If you could, please. Okay, yeah. Good morning, Mr. Hayes. Thank you for your attendance. The Auditor General on October the 12th, 23, on a recess week, appeared before this committee, and unfortunately her testimony was cut short when the Liberal NDP coalition brought a motion to adjourn the meeting after it was revealed that the government nor the CBSA informed her that the RCMP were investigating allegations of misconduct with the CBSA. She, in fact, only learned about it after reading a news article in the Globe and Mail. With that in mind, has the Prime Minister and his government been open and transparent by releasing all documentation as requested by your department?
We make our requests for information directly to the departments and agencies involved in our audits, and we have received the responses that we expected from those agencies and departments. We have not identified concerns regarding our access to information in this case.
I understand with respect to the CBSA, there is approximately 30,000 pages that have yet to be delivered to committees. It's in the translation process. Were you aware of that, and has that been factored into your report?
Our audit is relating specifically to ArriveCAN. My understanding is that the study by other committees might be broader than just ArriveCAN. In terms of I'm aware that the committees have requested information and that some of that is outstanding, but it's not for me to comment on the process for that.
Your office has a mandate that when you uncover some element of criminality, you are to refer that to the RCMP. Is that correct?
When we identify issues that could raise the potential of criminality, we do identify for the RCMP.
And did you uncover any issues with respect to criminality involving the ArriveCAN?
So at this point, I think that would be a question that the Auditor General would be best positioned to answer on February 12th. I can tell you that, as you mentioned earlier, we became aware that the RCMP has been already informed of a matter by the Canada Border Services Agency. That obviously is a different scenario than the normal one for us, where we conduct an audit and decide at the end whether or not to bring the RCMP in. They're already aware of the allegations.
At the Government Operation Committee level, we have seen unprecedented levels of misinformation being shared by government officials.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes.
Why aren't we bringing in information from is
this
the Public Accounts Committee. Can we deal with the Public Accounts mandate relevance?
That's hardly a point of order. Mr. Brock has the floor and is welcome to reference any information. In fact, the letter that Mr. McCauley, who's a member of this committee, sent to the OAG specifically references OAG or information from that committee. So I will allow Mr. Brock to continue with his
Well, my Liberal colleagues don't want to shed any sunlight with respect to these allegations. The Conservative Party certainly does. CBSA officials appeared at government operations, deliberately misled the committee. The biggest outstanding issue is who was responsible for and who chose GC Strategies, this two-person consulting company who performed no IT work, who received $11 million of taxpayer money towards the ArriveCAN total expenditure, clearly receiving the taxpayer-funded lottery in the process for doing absolutely nothing. This is a hot potato. It's kryptonite to the government. It's kryptonite to government agencies. Were you able to determine, sir, with the documentation that you received, who was responsible, what department was responsible for choosing GC Strategies?
Again, the Auditor General will be best positioned to describe the findings of our audit on February 12th. The scope of the audit is about the ArriveCAN app, though.
Yeah,
so.
Thank you. Has the government or the CBSA informed you that two whistleblowers who came forth at committee last week or 2 weeks ago were actually suspended without pay, that being Cameron McDonald and Mr. Antonio Utano, who both worked for the CBSA. Were you informed by the government of that?
So I am aware of that. I cannot recall whether or not I first found out from the government or whether it was in watching the committee hearings. It was around the same time, but I am aware of that situation.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair. 30 seconds.